Magandang hapon po. Tila lumilitaw po na sa ating bayan, imbis na makatulong kasi nga marami siyang pera at mapapatakbo niya malaking industriya, ay nakakadagdag problema pa ito si Ricky Rason. Enrique Rason. Bakit po nasasabi ko? Kasi po, ang nangyari po, dalawang ginawa niyang problema na malakihan. Ang una po na ginawa niyang problema, siya pala ang naging dahilan kung bakit nakansila at hindi na natuloy yung prangkisa ni Leonardo Legarda Leveste. At natuluyan na itong nakansila. At yung pinakahuli, siya rin ang dahilan kung bakit gumuho ang Binaliw landfill sa Cebu City, sa barangay Binaliw. Mapapatawad ba natin to? Si Enrique Rason. Matanda na ito pero gusto niya, siya po yung may-ari ng Soler. At ang binurger sa kanya ni Kiko Pangilinan, iniipon yung mga congressmen ng National Unity Party na sa kanila kasama niya na si Ronaldo Puno. At binibigyan niya ng suhol dyan sa Soler kasi kailangan niya ang mga congressman na majority para yung mga prangkisa niya sa negosyo niya ay kagad-agad maayos. Siya na kumukuha ng Maynilad. Siya na rin kumuha doon sa actually, dati rin sa International Container Terminal. Tapos, siya pa ang namamayagpag sa industriya ng pag-generate o pagsagawa ng mga kuryente ng mga planta. At siya nagdidikta ng presyo ng kuryente. Si Libeste nagkwento na pwede, halimbawa, parang pwede niyang ibenta hanggang 2 piso, 3 piso per kilowatt hour yung ang kanyang solar plant. Pero pinipigilan siya at kailangan pumantay siya. Kailangan doon sa $8.89 pesos. Kasi kung bumagsak siya sa presyo, ang kukunin lamang ng mga mga Meralco at saka ibang mga electric cooperative ay doon sila kukuha sa galing kay Libeste. Kaya para hindi naman sila malulugi, yung ibang mga planta na coal ang gumagamit, uling na bato-bato, at yung gumagamit ng geothermal at water, at may wind farm din, ay gusto ni Enrique Rason ma-maintain ang presyo at para kikita siya ng gusto. Ngayon, kung mas malaki ang gastos sa hydropower, sa geothermal, sa coal, malaki ang gastos sa pag-operate, wala silang kalaban-laban sa solar power. Kasi nakalatag na, hayaan mo lang dyan, bantayan lang huwag istorbohin ng mga kalabaw o baka, ay ayos na. Hindi na maraming kasi ang kuryente galing sa araw, tatakbo sa panel, ibato ng panel papunta sa mga battery, at mula sa battery, nakaset up na yan, pupunta sa national grid. Ganon po ang problema ni Mr. Enrique Rason. Ang gusto ng bata, si bata ang gusto niya, si Libeste. Ang gusto ng bata, pabagbagsakin pang presyo. Ngunit hindi niya magawa. Dahil very, very, very powerful ang tao. At gustong-gusto niya pabain, kagaya ng nangyari, hindi niya maumpisahan ang prangkisa niya na para sa solar, para sa bayan na korporasyon. sapagkat hinaharang pala ito ang may sugo sa tao sa likod ay si Enrique Rason. Yung kanyang Philippine Infrastructure Corporation, yung FIC, yan ang dumidikta. So ito, pakinggan natin po muna ang nangyari sa Binaliw. Sa ngayon po, 60 lahat po ang, kung sutuhalin mo yung napektado, mga injured, mga namatay at saka missing hanggang ngayon. Kawawa naman sila. Ano, Mr. Raxon, natitik mo ba ito? Kaya mo tingnan ito, Mr. Enrique Rason? Oh. Oh, mga patay dyan. Oh. Ay dyan, nagdasal. Yan. Ayaw ka may music. Yan yung dati. Pagkatapos na gumuho na, yan na. So, daming mga nire-rescue. Ayan, ang natira. Ito sa mayor ng Cebu City ngayon. Si Nestor Archibald. So, yan ito. Ngayon, kung itigil ito, gusto ng mga tao itigil na, anong kapalit? So, nais ko lang bibigyan din yung report ng Rappler na nalaman nila na nangyari lamang itong disgrasya nung pumalit na yung kumpanya ni Enrique Rason noong 2023. Nung pumalit sila, may ginawa sila sa gilid ng bundok kasi gusto nila magtatabon pa rin sila kasi wala nata silang space. Kulang. Kaya sa gilid, hinukay nila, ginawa ng quarry. Para doon naman, papatong ang mga bagong basura. Nabasa pa ng tubig, kaya po ang nangyari ay gumuho. Ayan.
Bakit na mga ang dito? Uy! Wala pa
Kita nyo? Gano'n, no? Basura, ulog.
I am First Lieutenant Daniel B.
So, parang
Subukan namin
Republic Act!
Subukan namin.
Republic Act 7277! 20 taon na may batas! Walang ramp! Walang elevator! Nasaan ang pondo? Sa bulsa nyo na naman! Kami ba?
Ayan.
How old are you? 108.
Republic lang natin yon. Kasi idamay lang natin si Gwe. Yung may PWD na nagreklamo, wala pa rin elevator. Dapat sa batas may elevator na. Anyway, pupunta tayo dito sa iba pang mga litrato ng Binaliw. Bago natin tatalakayin yung power, yung mga corruption sa power. Ito yung mukha ng Binaliw ngayon. Yan. Sorry. Yan po. Nakikita nyo? Klarong-klaro ba? Yan. Nagiba lang ito nung si Enrique Rason na may hawak. Marami ng warning. Tapos nag-quarry pa sa dito sa gilid para lang lalagyan na naman ng basura. So, ibig sabihin, punong-puno na palang basura, pinipilit lang. At nang umulan daw ng konti, ang tubig, lumuwag ang lupa at nahulog. Yan. 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 Yan ang mukha ng Binaliw. Para mababaliw ka. Tapos, ang kalaban niya ngayon, kinasuhan niya ng libel, yung baliw na si Kiko Barsaga. Baliw, quote-unquote, ha? Yan. Ang daming tao nang naghanap ng mga kamag-anak lana na missing. So, yan na. I-off na natin yan. Ito pa. So, mga biktima, oh. Ang bana niya, ang mister niya. Oh. Grabe. Kawawa. Oh, yan. Nawalan siya ng asawa. Kawawa. Yan. Nawalan si ma'am ng asawa. Ito mga rescuers. Yan po ang nangyari. Oh. Nahulog lahat. Ito isa sa namatay, nasa kabaong na. Isa, nasa kabaong na rin to. Helpless ka talaga. Wala ka magagawa sa sitwasyon na yan. Mahirap pa kayo ang buhay nyo. Tapos magiging biktima pa kayo ng gano'n. Nakakaawa. Ayan po. Tingnan ninyo. So, ayan. Let the pictures speak. Ito, pakinggan natin.
Balang may duha-duha, oy. Bagay. Ang tagtungod balang may duha-duha, oy. Bagay sa ninyo buhay pa na, oh.
Nagrereklamo mga residente. At hindi na makikita yung kanilang mga pamilya.
So, gabi, nangunong pa na sila rescue. Ang mga tagtungod na paabot. Asa naman ng 24/7 nga rescue ingon sa mayor, nga naman nangunong man na sila.
Pinatigil pala yung paghanap. Kaya
Mauna ang
Sinayo na nila kung kapit ka, oy. Di na na rescue. Dahil wala may buhaton, magbalog na mo diha.
Ablihin ang ato, boy!
Sinayo na ninyong cutting.
Ang ato, ablihin! Para magginhawa!
Kung man yung mga basura dyan, napita. Di man na makakuan. Pwede na niyo hinay yung cutting.
yun.
Para makaginawa sana sila diha.
Ayan.
Ah, ginoo ko. Sus!
Parang ganun.
Hello kaniyong tanan, this is your Queen Dr. Kansihala, Juval Dukay. Ani akaron kauban nato sa ato ang medical mission no diri sa apektado sa earthquake. Ang nag-iisang bossing, Boss Mark. Please follow, like and subscribe ihang page. Si Boss Mark.
This is incredible. The ride is
hindi na po kinakailangan.
Automatic shutdown pag nauubos na.
Hoy Marcos, bangag ka talaga. Yung mga ipinapakulong mo, yung mga hindi naman mga kilalang tao, yung mga kilalang tao na sangkot sa nakawan, hindi mo maipakulong. Marcos, mag-resign ka na. Dahil ikaw mismo ang problema. Hangat andyan ka na ako po, hindi matatapos ang problema.
Yan.
Hoy Marcos, bangag ka talaga. Yung mga
abay sa ibang bansa magkapatid.
So guys,
Nangyari.
ito naman tayo. Sam,
Dinala
Ninyo buhay pa na, oh.
Ito, pakinggan natin ang report ng
Dito sa lugar kung saan nangyari ang 38 ang missing, isa ang patay at 12 pa ang
na di ay lugar
38 ang missing, isa ang patay at 12 pa ang na-rescue dito sa lugar kung saan nangyari ang isang landslide sa landfill ng Barangay Binaliw, Cebu City. Hello, ako si John Sichon, Rappler reporter for the Visayas at nandito tayo ngayon sa lugar kung saan gumuho yung lupa ng landfill dito sa Cebu City sa isang uphill na barangay. So nakapag-usap na tayo sa mga locals at ang sabi nila kahapon 4 p.m. Thursday, January 8, narinig nila yung sigaw ng mga spotters na humihingi ng tulong dahil nakikita nila na gumuguho na daw yung lupa na kung saan nilalagay ang mga basura ng Cebu City. So for context lang, itong Barangay Binaliw, isa sa mga pinakamalaking landfill ng buong Cebu at dito nilalagay at least nearly 100% ng basura na nanggagaling sa Cebu City. Dito nila nilalagay at dito naka-imbak lahat. Based on initial reports, yung nangyari daw ay after
Ang findings ay nag-quarry, illegal quarry kasi ang purpose, yung makukunan ng lupa, tatambakan na naman ulit. Grabe.
a series of rain showers, nag-soften up daw yung lupa at dahil na din lumalaki yung volume ng basura, hindi kinaya ng lupa at eventually nagka-landslide. At nang dahil sa landslide, nag-collapse din ang isang materials recovery facility na nasa tapat lang ng mismong landfill. At ayon sa mga opisyales naman, may at least 100 na mga empleyado na nagtatrabaho dito sa mismong area. Base sa nakuha natin sa isang concerned resident, Junel Arcilia, ang sabi daw niya, matagal na daw ang concern ang baho at ang pag-increase ng volume ng basura ng mismong landfill. Ang sabi daw ni Arcilia, before naging isang landfill ito, noon ay manggahan at isang rich agricultural area daw ito. Pero ngayon ay ginawa nilang landfill. At nakuha naman namin sa mga initial reports ng local ay noong 2019 pa ito nag-a-accept ng mga basura at noon ay minamanage pa ito ng ARN Central Waste. 2023, nag-take over yung Prime Integrated Waste Solutions at sila na ngayon ang nag-operate ng landfill at ng MRF na ngayon ay collapse. At nakikita nyo naman sa likod ko, ngayon nakita nyo naman naka-face mask ako kasi if you were here in person, sobrang baho at sobrang very strong yung foul odor na nanggagaling mismo ng basura which may be of course isa ding detalye na kailangan malaman ng lahat ay itong mismong landfill caters to at least 1,000 tons of garbage from Cebu City per day. So sobrang marami yung basura na naka-imbak dito sa landfill. Now, August 2024, this was 2 years ago, August 2024, ayon sa Solid Waste Management Board, meron silang nakitang violations sa Ecological Solid Waste Management Act, pero 38 ang missing, isa ang patay. 24, ayon sa Solid Waste Management Board, meron silang nakitang violations sa Ecological Solid Waste Management Act, pero hindi sila nag-pursue ng sanctions sa mismong operator, sa mismong landfill dahil gusto nila na matulungan yung mismong operator sa pag-manage ng basura. September 2024, nagkaroon ng petition mula sa 156 residents ng Barangay Binaliw. Isa na din yung mga residents na nandito ngayon sa likod ko, marami nga sila. Ang sabi ng mga residents, sobrang baho na daw yung basura at may concerned na sila sa pag-increase ng volume. At sa tingin nila, eventually magkakaroon ng trahedya at nangyari talaga yung pagguho ng lupa dito sa likod namin na makikita nyo. June 2025, si Mayor-elect pa noon, si Cebu City Mayor Nestor Archibald, sabi niya na may bibigyan na daw niya yung warning, yung prime na mag-shape up na daw, na kailangan nilang ayusin yung environmental standards at i-address yung foul odor na nanggagaling sa mismong landfill. Residents dito, of course, many of them merong mga bahay at sa tapat lang nila ang
Diyan na lang. Ito po ang katibayan na alam na po ni Enrique Rason ang problema, pero hindi niya ginawa ng paraan. Nang ibig sabihin, may intention siya na guguho. At yung intention siya na guguho, ang lahat ng namatay ay pwede siyang kasuhan ng tinatawag na hindi lang reckless, homicide talaga. Kasi yung hindi niya pag-ayos, magbabayad talaga siya dyan. So ganun po siya. Siya rin ang yumari sa kooperatiba, sa prangkisa ni Leveste. Sige, bago ko mag-proceed, bati muna ako. Maya paog to, more power, mga kabalin. Kay Galaxy, makawawa naman yung mga tao. Host, walang magagawa. Bernard Magtibay, dinalaw na po ba ni BBM sa Cebu? Hindi ko alam kung dinalaw. Pero ang baliw dyan na dapat magbabayad ay walang iba kundi si Rason. So Roland Catedrilla, laban lang tayo, Tony Toto, para sa bayan. Kaklase ng sister ko, elementary, si Yugi. Ganun ba? Namatay na po si Yugi sa KCAS. Nasa London na siya, si Ria Catedrilla, bago namatay si Yugi. Nag-uusap silang dalawa na mag-visit. Ganun. Nakakalungkot naman. Sige, nice knowing it from you, Roland. Tapos, Bernard Magtibay, tapos si Ate Hides Mix Vlog. Sino pa? Sabi ni Bernard Magtibay, imbestigahan na po yung mga nangyari at klaro na po si Rason ng dapat makulong dito. Si Vince Harvey Ramirez. Shout out, Sir Toto. Lamat sa imong mga discussion about simo mga kasal, success recitation. Recitation mo. Okay, sa akong kasi. Okay, anyway, diretso natin, proceed tayo sa yung katarantaduhan naman na nakialam si Rason sa prangkisa ni Leveste. At dahil sa nakialam siya sa prangkisa ay hindi na natigil na ngayon hindi na natuloy ang kinontrata ni Leveste na mga bayan-bayan na bigyan niya ng mga kuryente. Kasi ang hinahabol ni Rason ay dapat hindi ibabagsak ang presyo ng kuryente. Si Leveste willing magpabagsak ng kuryente niya. Kasi nga solar naman ang kanyang plataforma . Walang gastos yung araw . Ayaw naman ni Rason. Kaya lalong ang kinagalit ni Rason, yun yung yun yung power plant ni Leveste na wala pa siyang prangkisa. Yung SPNEC, nagsimula yan 2015 pa. Tuloy-tuloy yun. Tapos itong si Leveste, sa kagustuhan niya makapagbigay siya ng mas murang kuryente, nag-apply siya ng prangkisa at bumuo siya ng korporasyon. Ang pangalan ay Solar para sa Bayan. Sa madalit sabi, kahit anong pahirapan ang nangyari, nakiusap si Lauren Liganda para sa anak niya. Sabi ni Atienza, ulol din pala sa Atienza, sinungaling din . Okay, ang nangyari, nabigyan ng prangkisa, pero hindi naman makatakbo ang prangkisa kasi walang binigyan ng tinatawag na rules and regulation. So kung walang rules and regulation na pinasa ng DOJ, Department of Energy, hindi siya makapagkuha ng business permit. At hindi siya makapagpatakbo. Pero bago siya mag-apply doon ng 2019, meron siyang pinakita sa Kongreso na sample. Yung planta niya na ginawa doon sa Paulan, Mindoro Occidental. So nagawa niya yun ay naging pruwiba at yun naging basehan kung bakit binigyan siya ng prangkisa. Pero hindi kasama sa prangkisa yun. Hanggang ngayon po, tumatakbo yun. Yung sa Mindoro. Ang nangyari, nung nabigyan na siya ng prangkisa, binigyan na siya ng mga kontrata para sa bayan-bayan. Pero, ang problema, hindi ka siya makapagsimula. So, hindi mo siya masisisi. Ang prangkisa ay nagsasabi na sa Section 4 na kung hindi magtutuloy sa loob ng 2 taon, automatic revoke. At kung, halimbawa, nagkakataon na magpalit naman ng may-ari at kung nagkapalitan ay hindi pa rin siya nag-report at tumigil ng consent ay ma-revoke din ang prangkisa. Pero hindi yan siya dyan na-revoke. Binenta niya sa kanya mga tauhan ang shares niya para sa solar para sa bayan na korporasyon after noong 2024 na. Ano na ang kanyang prangkisa? Ano na, out na, off na. Kumbaga, ipso facto, revoke. Ibig sabihin, ipso facto, automatic, revoke. So, ganun po nangyari. So, ibig sabihin, wala siyang problema. Ngayon, nilahad niya dito sa interview niya na may isang tao na very, very, very powerful. Yan po si Enrique Razon, ang nagko-control sa corruption sa power industry. So, siguro, pakinggan natin ang interview niya kay Loren Legarda. Ay, di Loren Legarda. Si Karen Davila. Ito po.
But then right now, your very person is being questioned with what the Department of Energy has exposed. So you have critics saying that these contracts you've benefited from this. We're talking about now the solar contracts that that government had handed to you. You've benefited through this by the influence of your mother, through nepotism, and yet and you've defaulted from these contracts. So I want to ask you one by one. Number one, solar para sa Bayan Pilipinas.
Klaro na nga, hindi siya nag-default sa contract. O sige, magtanong-tanong siya.
You were given a 25-year franchise, and you were supposed to build solar grids on the underserved and poor communities. What happened there?
But first, I'll directly answer your question,
Go.
and then I'd like to give an overall
Sure.
clarification. The franchise was granted in 2019. Right after the franchise was granted, a case was filed by an association of electric cooperatives to stop the franchise.
Yan! Sa likod doon ng pagsampa ng kaso, sinampahan pala ng kaso si Leandro Leveste na para makansila ang prangkisa. Ang mga asosasyon ng mga electric providers. Sa likod nun ay si Razon.
There was supposed to be
Bakit? Mura na nga yun yung kanyang kuryente kasi sa araw lamang nanggagaling. Mas lalong masisira ang negosyo nila ni Razon sa pagbibigay ng sa pagkukuha ng mga ganansya o profit sa kanilang kuryente na binebenta sapagkat ang gagawin yung prangkisa ay micro, maliliit. Maliliit na mga grid sa bawat bayan. So kinontra din pala siya. At the same time, hindi rin siya nabibigyan ng permit. Kasi nga, unang-una, wala pang Department of Justice Rules and Regulation. So yan. Ang sa likod po ng lahat nito, si Enrique Razon. So ibig sabihin, lumalabas, ang dalawang batang congressman natin ang kalaban ay si Enrique Razon. Si Kiko Barsaga, kinasuhan ni Enrique Razon ng libel sapagkat nagsalita si Kiko Barsaga na corrupt ito si Razon. O yan, pakinggan muna natin si Leveste.
an IRR according to the franchise to be issued by the DOE.
O, IRR, ibig sabihin implementing rules and regulation.
was also not granted, and that made it difficult for the company to continue operations. And general law was passed in 2022, which had a repealing clause that said that legislative franchises on the same subject are hereby repealed or amended. And 2 years after that, the franchise was ipso facto revoked according to the provision of the franchise that if it is not operating for 2 years, then it is revoked. But
Okay.
notwithstanding those
Dahil hindi nag-operate, revoke na. Hindi na siya ngayon nagpupamilit. Ang kumpanya na binenta, iba yon, hiwala yon. Tarantado si Boeing. Hindi ka nag-check ng fax mo.
legal issues, I
Ano
was
hindi nag-check ng fax niya si Barry Gutierrez. Si Jesus Palces hindi nag-check ng fax niya. Si Terry Redon na Mr. Bean ng Pilipinas ay hindi nag-check ng fax. Ito rin si dating sekretary na Edwin de Sierda, hindi rin nag-check. Puro kayo. Pati si Atienza hindi nag-check ng fax. Wala po kasalanan at walang si Libisti at hindi po niya binenta ang prangkisa. Ang sinasabi mo pagbebenta sa kanyang staff ay nangyari matapos na maribok. Tarantado, mga buang kayo. Mga bobo kayo.
actually reported by another media outlet based on the audited financial statements to have invested around 500 million pesos into the project.
But were you able to build?
And I built several power plants, including...
No, first with the solar para sa bayan.
Yes,
Okay.
which actually the physical assets are still there, and out of exceeding caution in compliance with the law, did not operate the plants, even if they are generating solar energy. Because
Where are these plants?
like, there's one in Mindoro where you don't need
Si Rason Pla may-ari ng Billionaire News Channel. Tapos sa Iloilo, yung More Power, siya rin may-ari. Tapos ano pa? Talagang hindi siya pala tinitigilan ng Billionaire News Channel.
to have an operating cost to run the solar power plant. So it's generating electricity, but because of a lack of permits and because of legal issues, it's not even operating. The power could go to the people for free. But the point is that we showed good faith in doing the project,
Gusto nga
but
niya,
because of
ibigay
legal
sa mga tao na libre lang, oh.
hurdles all throughout the process, out of exceeding compliance with the law, I stopped the operation of the project and thereby the franchise was revoked. But I'm saying it's the opposite of what is being characterized, that I didn't show good faith and I made money out of it. Actually,
Not that company.
I showed good faith
Yeah.
and I lost money from it.
Okay, that's yung solar para sa bayan. So let's now move to Solar Philippines. So Solar Philippines is another company. And with Solar Philippines, you were granted 42 contracts. Am I correct there?
I'm not sure of the exact number,
Okay.
but I wanted to clarify one thing.
Go ahead.
These are being referred to as contracts to develop projects, which are essentially permits, which the government does not pay the developer for. The developer actually pays fees to avail of the permits. So there is this media campaign being waged to compare this to DPWH contracts. DPWH contracts are paying public funds to the contractor.
For them to build.
Yes.
Yeah.
But actually, there's been no one from the power or energy industry that has commented about this, because people who are knowledgeable of the industry know that it is the nature of these development contracts, which are essentially permits, that you apply for much more than what you actually build.
Okay, but I think let's move on.
But
Okay.
there is no harm
Yeah.
to the public when a developer does not proceed with an investment, especially because there is a shortage of projects in the country, not because developers are stopping others from investing, but because of the difficulty of obtaining permits, which, by the way, the media attacks on my own example are not helping assure investors that if they come to the country, if they end up on the wrong political side of the fence, that they will not be attacked by people
Okay,
who are raising issue with something that very plainly, according to people who know the industry, are being mischaracterized because there are no public
Okay.
funds
Now,
involved in these projects.
I understand that you've made it clear, but at the end of the day, what word would you want me to use instead of contracts? 42 permits
No,
to
you
build.
can call it a contract if that's what
Okay, but
it's called.
what you're saying is government did not give you money.
Klaro. Binigyan siya ng kontrata pero choice niya yun kung itutuloy niya o hindi. Lahat ng gastusin na sa kanya magaling, walang gagastusin ng gobyerno. Kaya bawal ito si Garin maningil-ningil ng mga penalty. May option ka to go out. At saka pag go out ka, pwedeng ibigay sa ibang kontrata. Bakit ka magmulta? Unconstitutional yung multa-multa mo, Sharon Garin. You better consult your lawyers.
To actually build.
Yes, it's being mischaracterized.
All right. But then there are conditions, no? So I want to read this and then you can, as of December 2021, 2/3 of all solar contracts went to you. 2/3. And the estimate of the DOE is that each of those contracts are worth 10 billion pesos. Because wait, let me finish. If you built them, you would have had anyway a sure buyer, right? From the solar that would have produced. And there were conditions for you, the fact that you were given those contracts, for you to actually perform. For example, in 2024, they were expecting 14,000 megawatts from your company, but supposedly Solar Philippines only produced 174 megawatts. Is that correct?
There's many responses.
Okay, go.
The first, it's not 14,000. It's a lower number.
Okay.
Second,
do you know the number?
Actually, they're using different metrics
Okay.
based on the types of contracts, but there's also no offtake for anywhere close to that number. There is no assured support for the project being given for these projects. And the reason why it is a large percent of the total pie is not because others are being prevented from availing of the same, but because
Kaya, hindi totoo yun, Karen, na may assurance na may client, may customer sa kagad, hindi totoo. Ayan.
others were not applying or seeking the
At
same.
yung iba, mga solar power companies, ayaw mag-apply.
Because
So what you're saying is, wala namang nag-a-apply ng solar noon. Ikaw lang, ganun ba yun?
noon.
Noon.
And that the characterization is that because of this, others did not build. That's why mataas ang presyo ng kuryente sa Pilipinas. I think any of your viewers know that that is ludicrous. And the people in the industry,
Walang mga kaparehong kumpanya na kumagat dahil mataas ang gastos pagpapatayo ng planta.
would also not make that same claim because the reason why people are not building is because of the difficulty of obtaining permits, but that the
Permit, ayaw na bigay permit. Kaya ang dahilan kung bakit ayaw na rin, binitawan na rin ni Libisti yung mga maliliit na kontrata.
But
Sorry,
why weren't you able to build, Representative Leviste? Why not?
just explaining that this 2/3 number,
Okay.
it really doesn't belong in this discussion at all.
Okay.
Because I applied for contracts to develop projects, and others also apply, and I think since then many others have applied. But the other number that you mentioned, I really don't know where it comes from. There's a certain financial amount. That's the amount that I, as a private investor, could invest in the project, not the amount that will be given to me. Again,
Oh, definitely not. But I think when they say it's worth that, it means that you could have invested that.
honestly, no one wants these contracts. It's not worth anything.
Okay, so what happened? Why did the DOE then cancel 32 or 33 of your contracts?
That is the nature of the business. When you don't proceed with investing in a project, you have the contracts terminated.
So why didn't you invest? What happened?
Yeah, anyone that you would ask about the industry could tell you that at every step of the process, you have to convince people to
Pahirapan pa, convince people.
sign government permits and
Mga permits, pahirapan. Mga red tape.
But one would think you wouldn't have that problem. Your mother is a powerful senator.
Hey.
The fact that you got all these contracts, you already have viewers thinking
Hindi ka naging negosyante.
it's because of your mother. So to use that now that you had a difficult time, doesn't match. What is
Walang logic ang mga tanong mo, Karen Davila.
it's difficult doing business in the Philippines for everyone. But again, the fact that we're even discussing this on a show that is of matters of public interest is, I think, very curious because I'm just explaining. I did not receive money from the government
Yeah.
and then did not do the contract.
I think that's clear.
So then if it's a question of why did I not proceed to invest billions of my own money for planned projects,
Ano naman, gagastos ka? Kagagat to si Garin ah.
then that's not really of public interest because
It is because you became part of the national power plan.
that is a
Oh,
stretch.
hindi mo
Because
naintindihan yan, Karen. Masyado kang all-knowing eh. Hindi mo alam ang takbo eh. Journalist ka lang, hindi mo alam yan.
generation is not like distribution or transmission where you are a monopoly. If you are the monopoly provider of electricity at the detriment of others to do the same, then may tungkulin ka na mag-operate. But if you're like a developer of a housing subdivision or a shopping center, and you don't proceed because of the difficulty of developing the projects or a difficulty of obtaining a market, that's another thing. That there are other offtake agreements that still need to be secured to secure a contract or a lack of transmission by the national grid. Then it is not because of you that there is not supply in the market, but it is one's own prerogative to invest or not invest in a project.
Well, the thing is, you have government actually looking for good investors that could help build the country,
wala,
right?
hindi totoo yan,
So I'm
Karen.
gonna quote from Secretary Garin so you can answer this directly.
Hindi totoo
You had
yan.
43 contracts, 32 have been terminated. You were supposed to deliver, and I'll quote, 200 megawatts in Tarlac, 300 megawatts Nueva Ecija, 1,200 megawatts General Santos, 20 megawatts in Nueva Ecija or 20 in Ormoc, badly needed, 980 and more, and you did not do it. You didn't deliver.
Thank you very much for allowing me then to bring up that President Bongbong Marcos was the guest of honor at the groundbreaking of a project that I developed in Nueva Ecija in November 2024. Perhaps Secretary Garin was also there.
Okay, and how many megawatts was that?
That is a 3,500 megawatt project, which is the largest foreign investment in the whole Philippines in 2025. I sold the project to Meralco in December 2023 onwards, and the project has been heralded by the DOE for being a stride in increasing renewable energy and power supply. And there's a selective cherry picking of there are contracts.
Would you describe this as your biggest project, the one in Nueva Ecija?
That is essentially what Meralco bought when they bought my company.
Yeah. Okay.
And my point is that to achieve some kind of media narrative, there are being told stories about projects that I did not do. And what is patently false is that only 2% of the projects have been delivered when the 3,500 megawatt project is being omitted from this narrative. So again, why are we even talking about this on a public affairs show? But if
Ang gaga talaga to si Garin. May utos yan para gibain ka dahil lamang sa Cabral Files na natatamaan na si Bongbong Marcos na 8 billion na bibisto.
we are talking about
I think it matters because the issue
actually,
is who.
Hindi ka negosyante, Karen. I think it matters.
Who government gives contracts to?
Wonderful question.
Yes, but then let's finish this first.
Let us
We will go back to the
Makinig ka, Karen, kasi yabang mo, akala mo all-knowing ka.
let us have another discussion on the list of all the winners of DOE auctions, not only for solar energy, but for all kinds of renewable energy. Ayoko lang pong madamay ang buong power industry, Ma'am
Kasi may sindikato si Enrique Razon.
Karen. Pero pag mabuksan natin ang mga winners ng lahat ng mga DOE at ibang power supply bids sa buong bansa, baka we will be taken off the air. Because this is actually my reputation in the power industry. I bid low to bring the price down. Whereas
Pinapag gusto niya, pababain ang presyo. May nagagalit.
bidding for power contracts is like DPWH contracts. Normally, or oftentimes, there is collusion to keep the price high.
There is collusion.
So it is also very ironic that it is being characterized that what I'm doing has contributed to higher prices in the country because, again, I refrain from discussing the power industry because I don't want people to say that I have a conflict in doing so. But if someone wants me to expose the corruption in the power industry of the private companies that control many of the powerful other stations in this country, then I will do so in the Congress if I'm called for by the franchises or
Expose mo na lang. Expose mo.
the Energy Committee.
Okay, now Secretary,
Ayun, ang lahat ng mga congressman dyan, tauhan yan ni Rason. Kaya precisely, yan ang dahilan kung bakit tinawag ni Kiko na corrupt si Rason. Kinukurap niya ang mga congressmen para sa kanyang negosyo.
Garin also described you as a flipper. All right, I'm gonna read what she said. So she said, it's the way you do business. I've seen this in other companies too. There's a pattern. They get contracts. They don't do anything. They sell it to the highest bidder when the time is right and the value is right. We don't want that kind of investor. It's called flipping. Kumbaga, you made money off a privilege that
Hindi
was
totoo
given to
yan,
you.
Karen. Makinig
Right?
ka.
Ma'am Karen, I am not the flipper in this project because I had a partner who sold out from the investment that I got from Meralco, whom I'm not discussing on your show. And only if Secretary Garin wants me to unpack everything about how power contracts in the Philippines are obtained, only then will I discuss it further.
But, okay.
I
So
think
you won't say who your partner
no,
is?
it's on Google. It's
Okay.
publicly disclosed.
All right.
Out of my great respect for my former large, highly respected partner in my power
Yeah.
business.
Well, it's a given that Manny Pangilinan bought
Yes,
it, right?
I am just saying that it is malicious
Okay.
to call me a flipper and not describe how the whole power industry works.
So why do you think then did this come out now?
Because I am exposing corruption in the whole DPWH, not limited to district engineers and contractors, but the people who are deciding on the allocation of the hundreds of billions of pesos of the budget.
Do you have an idea who is behind this move?
Well, we can take a look at the names on this list.
No, specifically to reveal your contracts with the DOE.
Well, it could very well be that they're all helping each other because I've made many enemies on exposing contractors who are connected with many cabinet secretaries, who are also aligned with people in Congress who have been the ones publicly speaking out against me. But again, I think the public can see the timing of all this and that what I am just adding on your show is that all of this talk about my not proceeding on contracts is not of public interest insofar as I was not given any exclusive right to do so. It is only if I wanted to proceed on them that I would have the ability to invest in them. But
So in effect, what you're saying is by
Ang hirap
granting
sa'yo,
you these
Karen,
contracts,
ang hirap sa'yo, Karen. Hindi pa nga tapos yung tao, pasok ka ng pasok, hindi ito na maintindihan.
it is not to the detriment of anyone else.
you did not take away the opportunity for other people to build. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and I'm not the one discouraging investment right now. It is the talk about so-called, not from my words, political harassment of investors in the private power industry that is discouraging investors from coming into the Philippines.
Sino yun
Okay, but
nagdi-discourage?
were
Sino nagdi-discourage?
you one of those investors wherein you got these contracts and you benefited from the fit?
Actually, Ma'am Karen, can I say something on your show?
Go ahead.
I was a advocate for ending the FIT in 2016
Yung
because
kasi yan ang nagpapataas ng presyo eh.
I was saying we don't need to subsidize the renewable energy industry anymore. My first projects did avail of the FIT, and despite that, I said stop it. And since then, this has not been reported. The feed-in tariff was increased by the ERC last month. I don't know
Bakit in-increase ng PRC? Sumusunod kay Enrique Rason.
why no one is reporting projects that were already operating for over a decade just got an increase on their tariffs at the cost of consumers.
Okay. Katwiran ba yan? Inutusan siya na taasan niya ang paniningil niya? Anong klaseng ARC to? Tapos ang mababayad tayo ng mga consumers? Grabe.
Perhaps we should look into who owns the feed-in tariff projects of the Philippines who might have influence.
Kaya dapat siguro, Attorney Abad, mag-file tayo ng petition sa ERC. Pababagsakin yung pababain ang presyo ng pit-pit na yan para bumaba ang presyo ng Meralco.
On increasing the rates in the ERC. There is a very, very, very powerful person
Sino yan? Si Enrique Razon. Very, 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 very powerful person.
who owns many feed-in tariff projects in the Philippines.
Who owns many Philip Tarex projects in the Philippines. Sino yan? Si Razon.
And I am on the record since 2016 advocating against the feed-in tariff.
Okay, since 2016, he has been advocating against the increase in the high price, the increase of the prices in the current industry.
Okay, all right. What will you do with the 24 billion peso penalty?
I wanted to clarify,
Yeah.
as I did a while ago on
Yeah.
DZMM,
Sure.
I have not received any letter addressed to me for such
Problema ni Garinian, walang natanggap na sulat si Libeste.
a penalty.
Really?
I have not.
Okay.
Kung ganoon po yun, Karen, I want to lecture all of you. What is the regime proof? Kung nag-deny ang tao na sabi niya, pinadala kita sulat eh. Sabi ng tao, wala ko natanggap. Sino ngayon, ang tanong, sino may obligasyon magpatunay na may natanggap? Babalik ngayon dun sa tao na nagkiklaim na nagpadala siya. Babalik kay Sharon Garin. Patay kang bata ka. Patay kang babae ka. Mag-resign ka na dyan sa DOE. Incompetent ka dyan.
There is a letter that is addressed to the company that I sold to Meralco.
So
Because
it's
it-
with SPNEC.
Yes, so it is not for the company that I control. It is the company that I sold to Meralco
Okay.
that received the letter.
Now, did you
And-
divest
and-
Representative Leviste?
According to the PSE disclosures, I have around 18.66% of SPNEC right now.
Shouldn't you have divested?
No, the Constitution does not prohibit someone from owning it. What is prohibited is to, for example, be on the Energy Committee discussing matters that affect your company. Just like
And
being...
you're sure of this?
Yes.
That you can keep those shares?
Yes, and it's in my SALED. I don't hide what I own. And I think it's a timely topic for all members of the 20th Congress to disclose all of the assets that they own directly or indirectly so that we can see who has a conflict of interest on the committees that they sit on and the things that they discuss in Congress in relation to the companies that they own. But for me, I am transparent on what I own. I refrain from discussing matters pertaining to the energy industry. But if I am called to discuss matters pertaining to the energy industry, then I think that we'll have a lot more to discuss than just this.
Are you still the owner, founder, CEO of Solar Philippines until today?
I own Solar Philippines Power Project Holdings, which owns my shares in SPNEC.
Yeah.
But when they say there's a penalty of Solar Philippines, the one that they're referring to is actually of SPNEC. And I am careful in discussing this because I don't want the people that I sold my company to be unnecessarily embroiled
Dragged into it. Yeah, well, they are explaining.
Something that
Yeah.
they have nothing to do with. Because it is not normal for a private company to be singled out in the media by the DOE. And the unfortunate reality, I'm sorry if it sounds self-serving for me to say this, is that this is discouraging more investment by legitimate investors because there are many private investors that have come into this publicly listed company. The largest foreign investment in the Philippines in 2025 was in the project of my company by very legitimate foreign investors. And they are freaked out, wondering what's going on in this country.
O yan, baka alis na mga investor mo. They're freaking out. What's happening to our country?
We got ourselves into this investment that was groundbroken by the president, but is now being attacked by the DOE.
O yan. Talagang alis sa mga investors sa ginagawa ninyo. Mga walang kwenta kada BBM.
Okay, so if I were to ask you today, do you believe that projects for solar could have been granted to other entrepreneurs? That there was an advantage because you are the son of a politician.
Can I
That's
say
wh-
can I say something?
Illogical mga tanong mo, Karen. may tunog na karga na Malaysia.
90+% of the value of the company that I sold to Meralco came from SP New Energy Corporation's shares in the Terra Solar Philippines project.
In Nueva Ecija.
Yes, and its associated land. And that project was developed. The contract for that was secured in the time when my mom was out of the Senate. And it was done so with the help of my partners, whom I am appreciative of. And I don't want to drag into this, but it is all in the public record who were involved in my joint venture project that became the investment of Meralco. And I can say the following, it is not because of my mom that I was able to sell my company to Meralco for around 34 billion pesos.
Okay.
It, number one, was with the help of my joint venture partners who are bigger people than my mom or I.
Okay.
And because also of the land that I was able to acquire with the money from the Philippine Stock Exchange investors.
Okay. And I think before we go to a quick break, I want you to answer this factually. Is it true that former Budget Secretary Mina Pangandaman was an original...
Sabi na yan, hindi na importante yan. So at least, mahaba na kasi ang interview. Hanggang dyan lamang po at 55 minutes na po tayo. So, at least narinig natin na klarong-klaro na wala talagang kasalanan si Libeste. Ginagawan lang siya ng kwento. Kasi nga, dahil sa Cabral Files, Raymond Rojas, kapag ordinary kaso, i-booking, curfew, etc. mababaw. Businessman, ang daming kaso, dead man lang ang rason, business. Kita mo na sa binaliw na lang, wala man lang, hindi man lang pumunta din si Bongbong Marcos. Businessman nga ang pagpasweldo sa hindi minimum wage, tawag bending the law. Rebellion sa government law, tip sa empleyado. Yun, grabe na mga... Sino pang isa? Si LTD. Tapos si Andre Gueco, maya pa ogto, nabasa na kita, no? Watching from Singapore. Sino pa? Renan Rojas. Sabi, freedom of speech is democracy. And anyone who declined that law is... Okay, grabe, garapalan. All mathematics strike again. 1 plus 1 equals 11. And 1 plus 1 equals 6. Zombie, both answer. It's 116. PEDSA, January 16. Senator walkout. Historical math. Kapag sinulat sa papel, ito ang iikot. 9/11, birthday of attack. Okay, Raymond Rojas. Ang dami mong sinabi, Raymond. Okay, coincidence, kaya pala naging first general ni BBM, si General Azurin, other see it cause of speech. Ang pangarap mo ay, pangarap ko rin ay Vladimir De Leon. Aba, ABS-CBN, Kapamilya, Channel All TV. Okay, sino pa? Si Raymond Rojas, BBM is called number 20. Cost, he promised 20 peso rice. Okay, it had nothing to do with the nanay. Tama ka, walang kinalaman ng nanay niya dan. Teo S. Zacarias, bakakon ka, liar, kinsay bakakon imong giingon. Pernipia Pintos. LTD, very intelligent si Congressman. Tama po, napaka-intelligente niya. Jerome Salinas, sa Iloilo City, more power. Si Macabel Shakur, kaya pala all out tirada ng billionaire channel ni Rason kay Libeste. Okay, Bergie Piquero, siya dapat dyan sa The Hague. Si Roland Catedral, laban lang tayo, attorney, sa Boss Bell at hello, Toto. Galaxy, Mayap, Aogto. Hanggang dyan na muna tayo, ha. At maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat at pakishare po. At kung sino ko, kung mayroon kayong maibigay sa akin, pakipalipad naman ng super sticker at mag-subscribe na kayo sa aking tinatawag na channel kasi mag-umpisa na ako mag-lecture sa bar exam. Para sa mga gusto makinig sa bar exam, subscribe lang kayo sa channel ko at magbukas kayo doon. So ito, gusto ko iparinig sa inyo yung binuo kong kanta na para kay BBM. Ito po yung kanta na binuo ko. Sa tingin ko, magugustuhan nyo rin ito kahit papano. Ito po yung kanta na binuo ni Toto Tirador. Ayan ha. Ulit, antila muna. Okay. Dito tayo. Dito tayo sa totoo. Ayan ha. Paki-comment naman sa kanta ko po para ma-improve kung ang aking kanta. Paki-comment po. Original composition ko po ito. Okay lang ba sa'yo, mga kababayan? Mali-malit ang pera, diniliver kay BBM. Okay lang ba sa'yo? Bilyon-bilyon pera, binibigay ni Chaldico kay BBM. Okay lang ba sa'yo? Mali-malit ang pera, dinidilibig ni Chaldico kay BBM. 56 billion ang lahat na binigay. Pera pa ang 100 billion insertion. 56 billion ang lahat na ibinigay. Pera pang 100 billion na insertion. Hindi ba sa'yo, mga kababayan ko, mali-malit ang pera, di natin isaldi ko kay BBM. Okay lang ba sa'yo, dinilibig na pera, bilyon-bilyon, binigay kay BBM. Mga kabayan, 56 billion ang lahat. Pera pa ang 100 billion na insertion. Mga kababayan, kailan kayo mag-aklas para maipamas ang bagong gobyerno? Salamat, Bergie Piquero. Ayos lang ang lyrics. Paano naman ang tono? Sige, hanggang dyan at paki-like po. Paki-invite sa mga sasali sa atin para maparami po ating channel. Magandang hapon po. At least alam nyo na ang totoong issue sa kay Libiste. Ginigiba lamang siya dahil ang gumagalaw sa likod nun ay si Enrique Rason. Kaya si Terry Redon na mukhang Mr. Bean ay banat ng banat. Banat din ito si Attorney Gutierrez, Barry Gutierrez. Banat din si Lacerda. Banat din si Atienza. Banat din si Remulla kasi lahat sila nanggagaling nakatanggap kay Rason. Ganun lang po.